Hey everybody, Chris here. In this video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin versus Dogecoin and its use as currency. That's right, which is the better cryptocurrency? Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And during our live streams, we talk a lot about Dogecoin's price and look at the charts and all of that, but we also talk about the latest news that's going on, Dogecoin and cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin. But we also talk about use as currency because that's how Bitcoin started, and we'll look at the Bitcoin white paper. And also people like Cathie Wood, who is a great believer of Bitcoin and Bitcoin's future as digital gold, and we'll take a look at what that means as well. So if you do enjoy this video, particularly about Dogecoin, and want to introduce other people to what Dogecoin is, please be sure to share this video. So let's get into it. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So we'll start with this comparative analysis of Bitcoin versus Dogecoin, and this gives a little background. Bitcoin, the first of many digital crypto assets that we see today, decentralized digital asset originally described in a white paper in 2008 by a person or a group of people commonly known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Nakamoto's stated goal was to create a new electronic cash system that was completely decentralized with no server or central authority. Satoshi had a plan for peer-to-peer electronic cash that would not have properties of the fiat currency. The entire system of Bitcoin functions due to the efforts put in by a group of people known as miners. It was in 2009 that the Bitcoin crypto was finally launched. So what is Dogecoin? Dogecoin, based on the popular Doge internet meme, features a Shiba Inu on its logo. This popular dog-faced digital currency, created by Billy Marcus and Jackson Palmer, being based out of Portland, that was Billy and Jackson from Australia. The crypto asset was forked from Litecoin, but then it was actually from Lucky Coin, and then a coin that Billy made called Bells that I talk about on my live streams because I interviewed Billy a couple years ago and he told me the whole story in more detail. We had a lot of fun talking about that. Dogecoin was released in December of 2013. Dogecoin's creators had foreseen the asset as a fun, light-hearted crypto that would have great appeal beyond the core Bitcoin audience, for the simple fact that it was based on a dog meme. The worldwide boom of Doge took place when Tesla CEO Elon Musk posted several tweets on social media stating that Dogecoin is his favorite coin. So much so that the Doge father, Elon Musk, has reiterated his support, saying that it has more utility for transactional purposes than Bitcoin itself. And in 2022, when there was this lawsuit against Elon, and we were all wondering whether Elon was going to continue to support Dogecoin or talk about it, he tweeted out, "I will keep supporting Dogecoin." In comparison, Bitcoin to Dogecoin, really, the only interesting thing here is that they are both proof-of-work cryptocurrencies. And as that, they have the security that is pretty much the same using the proof-of-work consensus mechanism with mining and rewards given to miners who are validating transactions on the blockchain. So what is the biggest difference between the two other than Bitcoin started first? And Bitcoin has a hard cap of 21 million Bitcoin. That's all it will ever have. While Dogecoin, which is now over 140 billion Doge, keeps inflating over time. And we'll talk about that in a minute as well. So Dogecoin versus Bitcoin, key differences. And this one is that Dogecoin uses the script encryption. Bitcoin is the SHA-256. Here's the market supply difference. But here, transactions per second. Transactions per second. Dogecoin, 33 transactions per second. Bitcoin, 7. So almost 5 times as fast as Bitcoin. The block confirmation time, Dogecoin is 10 minutes, Bitcoin 1 minute, but because of the transactions per second, that makes it faster, as well as the block reward, 10,000 Doge. Right now, 6.25 BTC, the halving coming up is going to make it 3.125 BTC in 2024. So with that faster transaction time, that is Doge faster. But then I hear a lot of you say, oh, the Lightning Network, right? Well, what about the Lightning Network? Well, this is what we end up looking at. Like, the Lightning Network doesn't fix everything wrong with Bitcoin. That's right. And you'll hear all the Bitcoin maxis saying, transaction fees too high, Lightning Network. Blocks too small, Lightning Network. Blocks too slow, Lightning Network. Government censoring transactions, Lightning Network. Soup too hot, Lightning Network. Soup too cold, Lightning. It's all Lightning Network. But is Lightning Network really all that they think it is? Well, there are some who do not. You can easily lose funds if you're not experienced. That's using the Lightning Network. And also, we don't know once the transactions are reaching a higher volume as things going on, how Lightning Network will actually scale. So everyday transactions necessarily makes it more accessible, especially as wealth distribution varies across countries, but we don't know. Can Bitcoin scale to billions? Not taken for granted. More people using Bitcoin could be a problem. Nobody knows if the Lightning Network will continue to be cheap if transaction fees start to rise, because we don't know what's going to happen with the fees as well, especially because, through the halving every 4 years, there's less and less Bitcoin rewards going to miners. We don't know what the effect is going to be on mining as time continues to go on. But with Dogecoin, we know that Dogecoin continues to inflate. And they say roughly 5 billion new Dogecoin every year. That's a maximum. When there's the lower volume years, it never really reaches that 5 billion. So that would be the maximum amount. But with that, here we are in 2023. This chart was made in 2020. But in 2023, we are at about 140 billion Doge. But as time goes on, let's say in 2025, there's 153 billion Doge. There's still only 5 billion maximum new Dogecoin. So over time, this supply inflation of Dogecoin actually goes down in percentage of the overall Doge. I call this sort of decreasing inflation of Dogecoin over time, which you'll see actually makes it as a good currency to have this. And then also, if we look at the Bitcoin white paper, and if you haven't read the Bitcoin white paper, just Google it and take it and read it yourself. But it starts with Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. So the whole premise of the white paper is to using Bitcoin as a currency. So you should read through how transactions work. All very interesting. Goes in through proof of work and the advantages of proof of work, which Dogecoin has as well, and how the network works with transactions and nodes and all of that, and what the incentive is for mining. And this is really the only big difference between Dogecoin and Bitcoin is in this incentive. And they even talk about, as time goes on, how sort of the generation of coins at first is essentially going to reach a point where rewards are only going to be given, through fees. The fees are going to be what pays the miners, not new Bitcoins. So we don't know how that is actually going to work in the future when it's just fees that are paying for that securing and validating transactions on the blockchain. So that's, I think, is a disadvantage of Bitcoin. But we get ahead of ourselves. Investor Place recently, 7 cryptocurrencies to invest in for the future of digital currency. We talk about Bitcoin, right? We talk about Ethereum. Ethereum transitioned to proof of stake. Ethereum not only slashed energy costs, but fortified its DeFi and NFT backbone. And Ethereum, well, that's really smart contracts platform. People aren't really using Ethereum as currency, right? But Dogecoin, that's right, Dogecoin is third here on this list. Dogecoin's embraced by mainstream giants like Tesla and AMC, spurred by lowering transaction fees and a 4 million strong community, make it an incredible bet. That's right, Dogecoin remains a force in the crypto sphere for its perpetual social media relevance and allure. Moreover, despite its minimal use cases, well, that's because it's just made to be a currency for tipping. That's kind of how it started, but it's grown to be more than that as currency. The mainstream acceptance has been accelerating over the past years with giants like Tesla, Twitch, AMC, GameStop, also likely swayed by its lowering transaction fees and a nod from big names such as Elon Musk. Hence, it isn't a mere social media frivolity, it's a digital currency carving its place in the commercial landscape. Moreover, Musk's ongoing interest is a powerful tailwind for Dogecoin. Rumors of an impending integration with X, that's X Twitter, add to the enthusiasm. Couple that with a robust community of over 4 million holders, and you see a digital asset that's not just a flash in the pan. Crypto is barking at the doors of broader acceptance and utility. That's right. And with Elon Musk, he says, cryptocurrencies are not perfect, but are better than anything else we have seen. Despite being not ideal, Elon Musk believes digital assets are the best form of money that ever existed. During an interview with Lex Friedman, Elon went on to say, you talk about the fiat money system and what cryptocurrencies are doing. And he says, I'm not saying that it is the ideal system for a currency, but I think it actually is just fundamentally better than anything else I've seen. And that's what he said about cryptocurrency. Lex also asked him if he was Satoshi Nakamoto. Elon said, no, I am not. But when the question came up about Bitcoin versus Dogecoin, this is what Elon said. Dogecoin, it does have much higher transaction volume capability than Bitcoin. The cost of doing a transaction, the Dogecoin fee, is very low. If you want to do a Bitcoin transaction, the price of doing that transaction is very high, so you couldn't use it effectively for most things, which then leads to this whole Lightning Network loop. But on its own, with Doge, a straight wallet-to-wallet transfer is the cheapest and fastest way of transacting internationally, just around the world. It is with Dogecoin. At the same time, Bitcoin is now being seen more as a store of wealth. People want to hold it, as most likely its value will increase in the future. That's what Elon said about Bitcoin. So, the top 10 best cryptocurrencies of 2023, we've got Bitcoin, but we also have Dogecoin too. Dogecoin is still the 9th largest cryptocurrency by market cap. It hasn't gone anywhere despite all the FUD against Dogecoin. It is still a top 10 cryptocurrency. But when it comes to Cathie Wood talking about Bitcoin says, digital gold is more inflation and deflation proof than traditional assets. So all of this talk about this digital gold, what does that mean? Well, that means that people are more apt to hold on to their Bitcoin and not use it and not spend it because they're hodlers. That's right. And here is Dylan LeClaire on X Twitter, and Glassnode has this chart that is showing that 88%, over 88% of all Bitcoin, the whole Bitcoin supply that is out there, 88% has not moved in the last 3 months. This is an all-time high for Bitcoin. It continues to go up. That means Bitcoin, not only is it not being used as a currency, but people aren't moving it either. They're just putting it on their hardware wallets, or it's sitting on an exchange, which I don't recommend you do, but it's just sitting there. Over 88%. So that is the store of value. We have Deutsche Bank. A leading researcher with Deutsche Bank says, I could potentially see Bitcoin to become the 21st century gold. So even the banks now are seeing Bitcoin as gold. That's right, as gold. Bitcoin is clearly the pioneer and most traded crypto. Its market cap way bigger than the market cap of Ethereum. So Bitcoin, sometimes called digital gold. ETH would be digital silver, maybe. But with Bitcoin, even Deutsche Bank saying Bitcoin digital gold. So Bitcoin here, better than digital gold, according to Matrixport. SEC approval of a U.S.-listed spot Bitcoin ETF could result in inflows by as much as $30 billion into Bitcoin, which will lead to then other cryptocurrencies also going up in value for those that are looking at that end of it. There are other estimates that think this $30 billion will be more like $200 billion coming in with spot ETF. That's how much money there is available sitting on the sidelines, mostly in these accounts by these rich people who have their brokers, just waiting for their brokers to be able to offer Bitcoin to them. And I mean, it's not through getting onto exchange, right? You have to sign up for an exchange, then you have to buy the Bitcoin, and then you've got to get a wallet, and then you've got to transfer it. Most rich people, they don't want to mess with that. They just want to call their broker and say, get me some Bitcoin. That spot ETF, that's the way to do it. And all of the Bitcoin that is then being bought through spot ETF, the companies like the Vanguards and the Fidelities and Grayscales and ARK Invest, they have to buy all of that Bitcoin, of which some of them I think already have been, to have them in reserves, because every Bitcoin that's bought through the spot ETF needs to be backed up 1-to-1 to actual Bitcoin. So that is the power that can have. But again, that's not spending Bitcoin, right? That would be hodling it. So we go back to Elon Musk and we say, well, let's look at the Dogecoin side of things. Elon Musk says something special coming soon on X Twitter. Something special. What could that be? Now, with Dogecoin, yes, there are a lot of hodlers of Dogecoin, but because of Dogecoin's supply and because of the price being relatively low, and I know some of you say, well, you can take Bitcoin and you can talk about Satoshis, but nobody really prices things in Satoshis. Now, maybe when Bitcoin gets up to $200,000, $300,000 a Bitcoin, maybe the price of a Satoshi might be something that people may understand a little better. But people are buying Satoshis, they're buying Bitcoin, and they're going to be buying 0.001 Bitcoin or 0.002 Bitcoin. But it's just so much easier to buy X number of Dogecoin because of its lower price, which leads to its accessibility and all of that. And we know that this X Twitter thing is going to be huge. If Dogecoin is integrated onto X Twitter for making payments across the platform, or creators getting paid out in Doge, there's all sorts of use cases there that could be for Doge. And that makes that whole international trading thing just so much easier than X Twitter trying to deal with all these different currencies from all these different countries. So that is very exciting coming forward. Elon Musk's Twitter overhaul could be huge for Doge and crypto generally. Elon clearly has an affinity for Doge, almost as part of a running joke, but I wouldn't be surprised if he actually went through with enabling payments via Doge. So that is a quote that is from Brian Evans, the CEO and founder of BDE Ventures. So that's very, very interesting. And of course, we know that X Twitter securing transmitter licenses, which potentially paves the way to crypto services on X Twitter. This is Elon trying to make X this everything app, similar to what WeChat is in China. That kind of move, that's what we're talking about. the power that Dogecoin can have, and with its fast transaction speeds and its low fees, I think Dogecoin is the ideal peer-to-peer currency. That's right, going back to the white paper that was supposed to be Bitcoin. Well, substitute Dogecoin in all of that for the words there. And Doge, I think, works better now as to what the original intent was of that white paper. If you want to learn more about Doge, you can go to the Dogecoin.com website, and there's all sorts of great information here. You can go to the Dogepedia here, and the Dogepedia documents what is Dogecoin, its history, how it works, who owns and controls the network, how wallets work, how to use your Doge, the community and the ecosystem, running nodes and mining, the development. Yes, Dogecoin does have devs that continue to work on Dogecoin, so it's not like Dogecoin is dead. It's far from it, continuing to get better all the time. So that's it for Dogecoin. Look, we can talk about price all day, and we do on live streams. And join me on my live streams. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But there's a lot more going on with Doge. I wanted to put this video together just to show Bitcoin versus Dogecoin from my point of view, and invite you to come join me on this journey with Dogecoin. And we're having fun, making money too. It's all good. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Doge versus Bitcoin, Dogecoin itself, where you think it's going from here. Give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.